Hey everyone, happy Chinese New Year for those who are celebrating the Chinese New Year like myself.恭喜发财. And for those who are not, happy holidays. Now before we begin, according to the YouTube analysis, I am surprised to find out that 90% of the audience that are watching this channel is still unsubscribed yet. I appreciate if you can take a few seconds of your time to click onto the subscribe button and also click onto the bell icon so you won't miss all my future uploads. And if you're watching this video from other social media network, you can find my channel in the YouTube search bar by typing Cheng Real Estate. So today, as per the recording of this video, is Chinese New Year Eve day. Today is the 21st of January 2023, and I just got something to share. That's why I decided to record this video and also wish everybody a Chinese New Year and happy holidays as well. It's regarding the topic of the CCC and the CF. So if you're new to real estate, probably you don't know what is this term meant. Well, CF is Certificate of Fitness and CCC is Certificate of Compliance and Completion. Well, back in the old days, they call it the CF. Now it's pretty much called CCC, more or less superseded, and they call it CCC. If you have one of these documents, it's okay. Now, this relates to house that or property that you own. Now, typically, if you buy the property from developer, they will give you a CCC these days. But last time also, they give you the CF. Now, what happens if you do major renovation or alteration to the facade of the property? Now, you need to reapply again to get the latest CCC from your local authority. Now, if you don't have that, you may have a bit of complication, especially if you want to resell your property years down the road. So how do you get the CCC? Actually, it's quite simple and straightforward. Now, before you even apply to do the renovation for your property that you want to alter, you have to engage an architect. So this is where they come in to draw up the entire building plan. Basically, this is what we call the architectural plan. Involve all the facade of the building and what is the extension. Of course, you need the engineering plan as well. These come in together hand in hand. After you get it done to the design and specification that you want for your property, of course, follow the guidelines and setback that is required by the local authorities. And then you need to submit in to get the approval. So once the local authorities, they will stamp on the drawing plan, and you can use that to start to renovate. Basically, the local authorities also will give you a certificate of renovation. So this only valid up to 1 year. It could be more depending on which local council that is in your area. So once you get that, of course, you can start work to lay the first brick and of course tear down the building that you intend to if you have any major renovation, especially on regards to wet work, structural works. So after the completion of your structural work, you put in all your windows, your doors, everything is done. Now the following step, of course, you need to apply for the CCC. So how long does it take to get a CCC? And typically, based for my local council, which is Subang Jaya, they call it MBSJ, it takes about 8 months to a year to actually get the CCC after the completion of your renovation. So actually, you can see it's quite straightforward and simple. So the thing is that the area I cover in Subang Jaya, majority of the homeowners here doesn't have the CCC or the CF after they do their renovation. One of the things is because this area is over 30 to 40 years old, so majority of the owners are not aware that this was the rule or the thing. So why is that case? Well, because the contractor that they hired did not follow through the entire process. Most of the contractor, they only apply to get the architectural drawing and engineering drawing to start to renovate. Well, to be perfectly frank with you, it's not the owner's fault because typically owners are not engineers or architects. They don't really do this very frequently, so they don't know the whole procedure. They thought by having the renovation approval that is the CCC or the CF. Actually, it's not. The renovation approval is just for you to lay the first brick and also to renovate your property. So after completion, you need to actually submit to get the Certificate of Fitness or the CCC. By right, the contractor you hired supposed to submit to the local authorities to get the CCC, but majority of them, in fact 80% of them on average, doesn't follow through. So the person that suffers actually is the house owner because they are unaware that they need to follow the last step. Now, if you ask me what is the duration of the entire process like, it depends on how much renovation you intend to do or done to your property. If just a kitchen extension or just a minor extension, structural extension, which doesn't exceed 50% of the original build-up, typically your local authorities like mine, MPSJ, they will approve your renovation in less than 2 weeks. So that's how fast it is. But that also depends on how fast you get the architecture drawing done and so the engineer drawing done. So now what happens if you renovate your house to become completely different or exceed the 50% of the build-up? In Subang Jaya MPSJ, it would take 8 months to 12 months to get the renovation approval. So that's how long it takes. Before you even lay the first brick, that's how long it takes. After completion of the property, you need to submit to get the CCC. That takes about another 8 months to sometimes up to a year for your local authorities like mine to actually give in the Borang F. This is the blue color form. Now the question is, some of buyers will ask, what happens if the owners cannot produce the CF or the CCC? So typically there's two options to go around it. One is the owner will take their drawing plans with the stamp one. Without stamp, you need to redraw again and resubmit to the local council. Now the local council will fine the owner because the building doesn't have a CCC, and they will produce the CCC later. That is pretty much a procedural. The second option is that the owner will deduct the whole process fee to you as a buyer. So if you intend to do major renovation to the property that you purchased from him, since you're going to resubmit the new plan again, the owner may reduce or rebate back the amount that he will get fined from the local council back to you, and assuming it's like 2,000 or 3,000, then rebate back the money to you and you reapply and redraw the new plan, since you're going to renovate the house anyway. Now what happens if the drawing plan doesn't have the stamp? Like I said, the owner have to redraw and rehire an architect to redraw the entire architectural plan again and get it re-stamped. As for the cost of getting the CC, typically it range for in between 5 to 6,000 all the way up to 20 to 30,000 depending on the type of property. Terrace intermediate of course will be the cheapest. Subsequently for terrace corner, then semi-D, and of course bungalow will be the most expensive one, because the local council look at the land size and so the total built up area. So that's about it for this sharing. Pretty much this is a sharing which I think is very important to most of the clients who are buying the property in Subang Jaya, which I cover, because like I said, 80% of them doesn't have CF or CCC. It's not their fault, they are unaware of it. In most cases, the contractor that they previously engaged, and in some cases also that they bought from the previous owner, the same case happened to the previous owner, and they passed all the documents to them. He thought that was a complete document, because previously the local council wasn't that strict in Subang Jaya, likely due to because Subang Jaya wasn't a city status back then, but now it is, and it is very strict in terms of the Subang Jaya local council. I hope you find this video very informative, and if you have anything that you want to ask me, do write in the description below, or anything that have missed out, also please reply below. I will respond to your questions or your queries. Do give this video a thumbs up, and also like and subscribe to my channel. And lastly,恭喜发财and Happy New Year to everybody. Bye bye.